Hi, everybody. Antonio here with another daily reminder for you. And today's daily reminder is to have expectations without attachment. I was having an interesting, I'll call it funument, because it wasn't an argument. I was having an interesting conversation with a young lady about the idea of expectations. And she said, you don't set expectations, you won't get disappointed. And I said, that's one way of looking at it. Also, if you don't set goals, you won't get disappointed. Also, if you have no desires in life, you won't get disappointed. And I gave several examples of choosing to not get disappointed by not ever going after anything. And that's the truth. So, we went back and forth about that, and I understood the sentiment behind what she was saying. I understood where she was going with that. But in the conversation, I was able to allow her to see that it's really not about not having expectations, because without having expectations, then what's the purpose? What's the purpose of life? Why do we do anything if we don't have expectations? If you're hungry and you eat, you expect that food to make you feel full. Everything we do is based on some level of expectation. But in her situation, going after a thing, not getting the thing, and being disappointed was so painful that she'd rather just not have any expectations around the thing to curb her disappointment. But what she didn't realize was is that she was almost guaranteeing disappointment by not creating the energy around the success of whatever her expectations were. So in the conversation, it boiled down to me just again explaining about having expectations without attachment. That's the key, because attachment is what creates anxiety, disappointment, and those types of things. Because when you expect to do something and it doesn't go the way that you think it should go, the way that you think it should go, that's where disappointment comes in, because you have an attachment to how a thing should go versus allowing it to be what it is, having expectations, but allowing life to show up in the way that it does, because it's going to do that, right? But when you put positive thoughts, positive energy, positive expectations around a thing, it's more likely that that thing will occur. But when you don't have any expectations, or when you set your expectations of, well, this isn't going to work, this is going to fail, this is blah blah blah, in order to curb any disappointment, you're going to find yourself attracting that very disappointment. So, how do you create expectation without attachment? One of the things I tend to do and say around goals, desires, and those types of things that I want to bring into my life, is I would say this or something better. And what that does is that it leaves me open to allowing the universe to bring a thing into my life in the way that it does, without my ego, I guess, muddying how I think that thing should show up, but allowing myself to be open, allowing myself to be free for that thing to show up in the right time, in the right way, for the highest and best use for everyone involved. And I will add this or something better. So, releasing attachment is really just releasing the shoulds. And I think I talked about this in another video, shooting all over yourself, saying that a thing should be a certain way, it should go this way, it should look this way, and letting that go, allowing the thing to show up in the way that it does, in the time that it does, and being okay with that. And that releases that anxiety, the worry, the fear around a thing showing up differently than you think it should. So have expectations, have phenomenal expectations, and also let go of the attachment to how that thing shows up, because it could show up in a way that goes beyond what your brain has the capacity to think about. But if your idea is that it should show up in this way. And if it doesn't show up in this way, then you'll be disappointed. Then you're just going to create disappointment for the rest of your life. So, with that being said, I'm going to set the expectation of likes, comments, and shares without attachment, to it. If I get comments and shares, great. If I don't, great. Expectation without attachment. That's it for today's daily reminder, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for another daily reminder. Take care.